Long day, boys.
Welcome to another episode of Concrete Mystique, the podcast. I've been waiting for this one for weeks since the show at Decorative Concrete Supply or Decorative Concrete Expo. We are going to have so much fun today. Canton, the Purist, together again to speak to the one, the only, the reigning, undisputed Wheelbarrow Racing Champion of the world, Mr. Austin. Is it Isbell? Isabel?
Isbell.
He's even got the necklace. Isbell. Are you related to Jason Isbell?
That's my father.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I think there's two. I think there's one a country singer, and then one that's my father.
That's awesome.
It was a great answer, though.
Yep.
He ain't a nobody. Don't get it.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm sure it's been fun since you won that championship, right? So,
Yes, sir.
First of all, I know I love it. So, first of all, just to that same point, what's it been like? I mean, you've been on a couple shows. Everybody's been talking about it. Like, how much of a reaction have you had from both the internet community and your home community? Like, what's the family say about all this?
Honestly, bro, I don't stop thinking about it. I talk about it every day. I got plans for the wheelbarrow, actually. I ain't gonna give it out yet, but I got some plans for the wheelbarrow for next year. So stay tuned
That's
for
awesome.
that.
Oh yeah, super tuning it for next year's race.
Yeah, I got people already out here training for the race.
Wow.
Are they asking you questions about how to do better at it and how to be like you?
No, a couple guys asked me what I did. I said, honestly, man, big dog. You gotta. It started with wheelbarrow and 10 yards of cement and traveling at like 150 yards or feet.
Well, see, that's the funny thing about it, because that's the whole thing for me. Like, everybody kept asking why I wasn't going to do the wheelbarrow race. I'm like, I've never had to push a wheelbarrow other than like in my yard. I don't pour concrete. I've never had to do this before. Like, I would be terrible at the wheelbarrow race. There's no point in me even trying, because I use it in the yard. That's it. And my
Right.
wheelbarrows are pieces of crap because they sit outside and rust all the time. Like, I wouldn't even know where to begin a wheelbarrow race based on concrete because I'm never in a rush.
The weight of mulch versus concrete is way different.
Yes,
Way
sir.
It's more like twigs and logs and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So before we get too far into all of this stuff, I wanted to start with that question just because I wanted to see the luxury of the champ and how the champ's been enjoying life since then. But we're going to dig in and you join in with us. But there's a few things that Tony and I did not talk about since the show. And the first one is, and you're going to love this one, Austin. Tony had one hell of an experience at the hotel we stayed at. Did you stay at the same hotel as us? No, you stayed at a different place, didn't you?
Yep. We actually got an Airbnb whole house. It was like 9 minutes away.
Yeah, because that's one interesting thing is with Joseph, because you stayed with Joseph, right? Like he
Yep.
put that all together.
No,
So the one
actually,
thing about Joseph is,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Okay.
No, go
So
ahead.
actually, we looked up the Airbnb. My buddy Tyler, he actually reserved it. We just all threw him $100. It was like 400 for what 3-4 nights up there. And honestly, bro, it was like
Nice.
it's way better than a hotel. It was awesome.
Well, it wasn't better than a hotel because you didn't get to hang out with me in the evening.
I know. Next year you can count. Next year you can count on it.
Captain T knows I'm a
Oh,
very
yeah.
boring entertainer at the evenings, aren't I?
I'm a big
Oh, no.
bourbon and tequila drinker.
You fit right in.
Yes. We might have to have a shot of tequila while we're talking. I have plenty here on my own.
Tonight I actually had my grandpa's very rare double eagle bourbon, so that's what I'll be drinking on tonight.
Nice, man. That's an Eagle Rare right there.
Yep. So this bottle, if it was never open, it was like $29,000. My grandpa, he had won
Nice.
it.
Nice.
Yeah. So you already know, dog.
Yep. Right. That's in fact that's what Chris Land's team was drinking behind the scenes the whole time. I had a cooler of bottles of alcohol,
Man, I
and I
wish
had
I'd have
my
known.
tequila while they drank theirs. And we can't tell everybody because we get in trouble by security if they know.
Security was very, very hassling this year.
Which I
I
did
know.
figure out how to fix that for next year. I've already moved on from
Yep.
that.
I
I got
think
it
I
all under
kind of,
control.
I think I kind of
Yeah,
got that same tip too.
yeah. I don't know what we were thinking and why we were making it so complicated.
Well, they weren't that bad the past 2 years, and it
The
seems like they
first year
got
they weren't. The second year they sent me packing halfway through the show. I came in with a
okay.
box and they were like, "What was that?" And they followed me all the way to my
Wow.
competition and said, "What's in there?" And I showed it to them and they're like, "You can't have that here." And I'm like, "Dude, come on." So I took it outside, waited a little bit, and brought it back in my backpack so they didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just on that point real quick, I don't get it because you know, if we're instructors or if we're competitors, Deco Creek gives us that package that includes all kind of vendor tickets and concession tickets, and none of us ever use them all, but Deco Creek already paid for those. So it's not like, if we're bringing in our own coffee or our own energy drink that the expo's losing out on anything. But I know rules are
Yeah.
rules.
I
It's just a
completely agree
thing.
with you on the coffee. The coffee and the
Yeah, come on.
Gatorade, we
Yeah.
need those things because we're working and
Yes.
and I have like, I'm a careful on my diet like that. Like that is, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. But the
That's
alcohol part,
ridiculous.
I kind of understand
Well, that
because,
I understand, yeah. But
we
they
could be
were
getting hammered and then it's their responsibility if something happens and,
right.
stuff like that. So I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they were just extra hard this year it seemed.
All right,
But
so Austin, are you ready for this story? Because Tony has the craziest story of hotel experiences. So,
Okay.
in this same conversation, I love Deco Crete. I love this show. Don't love the hotel.
yep.
It is not the coolest hotel. I love the bar at the hotel. I love the atmosphere of the hotel. The staff, not the bar. The bar staff are great. The bartenders, the waitresses, they're all amazing. The front office staff are the worst. I mean, they are rude. They don't care. They've never been nice to me once. And on top of that, too, go ahead, Tony. Tell them your fascinating story.
Yeah. So for being one of the so-called premier hotels in the area, third year staying there, first year I dealt with this, but we had some bed bugs that we dealt with right off the bat. And
No. Problem.
woke up Thursday morning and I saw one crawling across the top of my bed. Freaked me out. I'm like, whoa!
That makes me
Immediately started
itch.
checking. Yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Uh-huh. I immediately started checking everything. My buddy Dylan, who was with me, we had a king suite, so I'm in the bedroom and he had the pull out sofa in the front. And I'm like, dude, there's a bug back here. So we start checking everything. Did not see any signs of, anything else. Did not find anything else. Didn't see anything else. Thought, all right, maybe it's okay. But I immediately started like moving all my luggage and my gear. So what I also did is I stripped all the pillows off the bed, threw those into the corner of the room, and slept with just one tiny white sheet the next night. Wake up the next morning after that, find the second one, and the second one that I found, it was over from there. We went down to Dylan actually went down and threatened the hotel staff. I think he went separately than me, and we got a separate room. But in the meantime, I don't play with that stuff, so I threw away about 80% of my clothes that I brought with. All my luggage gear, I threw it all in the trash. And the stuff that I did keep, I took to the dryer immediately, and high heated it. And but yeah, I lost a lot of clothes out there. So yeah, what an experience.
I
Didn't
will.
Wow.
sleep very well. Didn't sleep very well. Even on that last night, I went to the new room and checked things out, and it seemed all right, but did not sleep as well as I wanted to. And whew, spooky
If
stuff.
they're,
So
if they're in one
so the
room, they're in every room.
so the
Well,
problem,
that's
Austin. The problem, Austin, is that the Captain T over here likes to go to bed at like 6 o'clock at night.
Right.
So I do everything I can to keep him up. I try to do everything I can to keep him up past 10.
Yep.
Because he's going to turn into a pumpkin, and I want to watch that happen. and so Friday night, I never saw him. I was like
No.
trying to get him out, and could not get him out. Thursday night, we had the party across the street at the M, and no Tony showing up whatsoever. Dylan was there, and I'm texting Tony. I'm like, come on, dude, how are you not here hanging out with everybody? Nope, staying in bed. Wednesday night, I got him out all night and got him late. And then Thursday morning, he was whining and complaining about it all day because he was hungover and he was tired.
Yep.
And I'm like, come on, man. We live once. We live once. You're not pouring concrete, but he is training people, and that is kind of important. So he has to be on his A game. I get that too. But this is no fun, Captain T over here when it comes to night
I know.
life.
Yes, I'm not I don't hang out very much after hours, so that's like the one time a year, maybe 2 times a year, and of course Rick does everything he can to maximize that. but the funny part about the training was, I think it was either Thursday or Friday. I can't remember if it was day 1 or day 2, but there was quite a few people asking me some serious questions at one point during the show, and I remember just getting a little dizzy and thinking, oh my God, I don't even want to talk to this person right now. And it took everything in me to collect myself and get through and give them the answers they needed. And it was fun. It was fun. I think that was right before I ran the wheelbarrow race.
That had to be on Thursday, because there's no way you had that problem on Friday because you went to bed early.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Thursday. And the wheelbarrow race was not a good idea for me for the same reasons.
Yeah, our first night there, we went back to the Airbnb. Of course, I checked for bugs, didn't see nothing. We instantly opened. We had like 5 bottles of tequila.
Huh.
Finished first night. We was up till
what brand
4
tequila?
a.m. You said what?
What type of tequila? What brand?
I like Patron. I like the Luna, and then I also like. It's just one stuff that's called I don't know, some Chinese, Japanese, some shit like that. I don't know. I forget the name.
There's no such thing as a Japanese tequila. It has to be from Mexico.
Actually, hold on. I got an empty bottle. I'll show you.
He's got the empties.
What he doesn't know is my entire alcohol collection is right below me, right here within reaching for anything I want to show.
So this to me is like Chinese letters.
Oh, ocho. No, ocho is 8.
Ocho.
That's 8 in Mexican.
Dude,
yes.
In Spanish.
I'll throw this down.
That is a good one. That is actually a really good one. That is a great one. I'll tell you. I don't. If you ever have old fashions, that is a great one for a tequila old fashioned.
Nope, I have not tried that yet.
Yeah, tequila old fashions are great because I'm not a big whiskey fan or bourbon guy. I drink a little bit, but I'm much more of a tequila guy. So they're actually, old fashions are all the time with bourbons and stuff. And I found out one day that you can get a tequila version. I'm like, no. And it was incredible, and I loved it. And I was at a bar by myself in Dallas, Texas, after teaching a class. And I was at an Italian restaurant. I was sitting at the bar talking to the bartender, and he literally told me exactly how he makes one, and it was fantastic. So I wrote everything down. I went home and I bought it all, and I actually had an old-fashioned party. I told everybody to get dressed up old-fashioned also, and I had everything taken care of. I had the wood chips to burn. I had everything, and I had everything from bourbon and tequila. So whatever version of an old fashioned you wanted, I was there ready to make it all for us, and we had a hell of a good time.
Nice, that's awesome.
But Ocho is a good one. This is one of my favorites, Insolito.
Oh wow, Anejo! I love the Anejo.
Yeah, I'm a big Anejo guy, and mine are really ones that you can pretty much sip on. You don't really need to do shots of it. This is another really good one, Lalo. So, highly recommend Lalo.
I got Trump glasses.
You got Trump glasses.
Nice.
The other one that says you can't take a shot at me is when they shot his ear.
Oh,
And then this is the one we had at the show. This is what I drank the whole entire time at the show while everybody else was drinking bourbon.
siempre.
This is a really
Always.
good Aneo.
Wow,
So
I
is that
gotta
what that
try
stands for?
I believe so.
So there you go. In fact, I'm going to set myself up a shot while we're talking real quick. Just for the champ. All right, so
Wheelbarrow racing champ.
yes. So, well, champ nonetheless, no matter what kind of champ. Champ for life after that, right, champ?
Yep.
So that means
100%.
everywhere you go next year, we always got to call you champ. You and Lewis
Champ.
and now and David Rebello. So Captain T, tell us about how the training experience went, because surprisingly, we have not talked about that through all of these episodes we've been doing since the show. So we really haven't dug into your second year of teaching and how that went for you.
Yes. Yes. So it was the first year that I was technically by myself. I had Dylan assisting, which was kind of his decision as he showed up. But yeah, the training went well. There was a lot of interest. I like that it was a little bit more condensed, the training area zone this year. Obviously, as the show grows, things are going to get a little bit more condensed, but it was, I think, a little bit more flowing for the attendees to be able to have everything in a closer zone that they could bounce around to. And,
was it condensed, or was it just because you were in a different area?
It seemed a little bit more condensed to me. It might not have been, but it kind of seemed that way.
You might. I'm trying to remember. You might be right because of the fact that they had that extra training area that they put up the bleachers and everything.
Yep.
Maybe that wasn't there last year, and that added more room for you. I don't remember.
Yeah. So they had this year, that was a first, where they had the featured trainings, and we didn't do any of that with my station, but that was a nice feature to where at specific times each other learning zone had a timed demo, and the majority of these zones are hands-on, and so the featured one is the instructors instructing how to do each one. But yeah, we had some fun doing it, and got to talk to a lot of people, and had some fun working during the expo.
So you actually did get up in front of an audience and do a demo?
No, not for our station. Our station was repairs, so it was pretty basic stuff. And surprisingly, we had people interested in different products that they've never seen. The self-leveling flat top, the easy patch, and then we did some overlay stuff too a little bit. Basically, we created a station where we messed up some ports on purpose, and then repaired them afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But the other learning zones, such as Ben with the staining, Chris with the overlays,
Jeff Kurt,
but Brett too. I think, pretty sure they all had a timed featured, and that was pretty cool that they did that. I think that was awesome.
Those
a lot
were
of
the
attendees
moments. That was the moments that Austin and I never had time to experience because we were too busy doing our own things.
Right. Yep.
Just a little too busy. Yes. So did you get a lot of did you mostly have people coming up and asking you lots of questions that you were trying to help them through those questions then, or did you just show things off as people walked up?
A little bit of both. And there were times where people wanted to feel the product themselves, so we mix one up for them and let them, experience putting it on. So a little hands-on, but yeah, a lot of questions, a little bit of showing, and then a little bit of hands-on as well.
Cool. Awesome. Then my next question for the two of you, this goes to two of you, and Austin, you're more than welcome to keep talking to whoever you're talking to. We'll just keep talking amongst ourselves. It's completely okay.
I don't think he knows.
What are your favorite moments of the show? Personally, because we didn't talk about that either. We talked about that with Jeff because he was on our show and we were asking him, but what were your favorite moments of the show?
Oof. That's a tough one to pick, just a few.
Were any of those moments based on your training?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Just to be, I don't know. There's just something about being a part of the show that's really special and an honor to say that you helped put this show on. No matter what it was. And by all means, I know we didn't have a major part. We were going over some pretty basic stuff, but whenever they ask me to do something, I'm always honored to do it. So just to be a part of the show at that location is so cool. Um, so just going to that location is always a highlight for me. 3 years now. The next part of the show that would be my favorite would be hanging out with people such as yourself afterwards. We don't
The
like
nightlife.
like you said, yeah, like you said before, we don't get to do it often, and although I do regret it sometimes the following day, I still enjoy it. I do.
And you blame me every time.
Yep.
You have no idea, Austin. Like I bring games to play. Like
Yep.
this is no joke. Like I am the entertainer. I mean, again, I'm from that area. So born and raised in Ohio. So we all go through this. We're all from the north where we have nothing to do for 4 months of the year. And
Nice.
so we played card games and video games. And so I bring all sorts of card games and all sorts of things to play. And of course, drink as much as we can and stuff like that. We try to have as much fun as we can at the hotel. Again, one of the good things about that hotel is that bar is a blast to hang out at. There's a sports bar right across the street, but that's loud, so it's harder to take stuff over there. So it's just a great little area. It's so funny for me because I mean, all through college, I went there shopping at the mall that's right there across the street from everything. It cracks me up every time I'm there.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
Austin, would you like to talk about your favorite moment? I mean, we obviously know winning the championship is one of them, but what else is some of your favorite moments? Because this was your first time there, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had no idea what you were walking into in any way, shape, or form. You didn't know what to expect at all.
Nope. I was trying to brainstorm how it would go on, and everything I was thinking of, it was totally the opposite. Definitely will go back.
What do you think about the venue?
Amazing. That's all I can say. Amazing.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, at that the big bubble that you're inside of, and how you have to worry about the pressure. I
Yes.
think there was one lady 2 years ago somehow went through one of the doors and almost deflated the building
Oh wow.
because it doesn't take long. Like they had to get
Yep.
those doors closed quick. It's an emergency if that happens. That's why they have all the double doors everywhere because it won't take long at all for that pressure to drop and deflate the
Right.
whole thing.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It was one of the best experiences I ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's pretty
Nice.
cool. Uh, okay, so let's have our little chat with the champ over here. You said you stayed at an Airbnb. Let's go back a little bit and go. When did you start working in concrete?
So I was 15 years old. I'm about to be 23 next month. 15 years old at in school, and my buddy called me. He was like, "You want to pour some concrete?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" I left school like 1 o'clock. Picked me up. Went and poured concrete. Didn't know a damn thing. Now it's been a long road, and just my 7th year, and only thing I pretty much can't do is run a trial machine. And
Interesting.
I don't think I want to because I am the trial machine. I'd rather get on some knee boards and just start scrubbing.
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah,
Such a
Probably
similar story. I started at 15 as well, so that's pretty cool.
that's awesome.
Completely different from me because I still have never poured concrete.
Right?
Wow, brother. I guess we need to get you down here to start pouring, huh?
I'm good. I'm good. I,
I figured.
I had a guy for that. I paid. So I actually had an inside. I had a guy. I had my own concrete division of my company, but
Nice.
I didn't do the concrete. It was never for me. Yeah, it's always fun, cracks me up. So then, how'd you get hooked up with Joe?
So I've been with Joe and Brian. August 6th will be 2 years. So one day, I believe it was on a Saturday, my buddy Mike hit me up. He's like, "You want to pour?" He's like, "Military guys, they're really nice. They're cool. They're laid back to work with. Great guys." Went poured. They said they loved how I worked, and I've been with them ever since.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Because it still cracks me up that Joe brought his team, which is a great thing. I mean, I would have done that too. I always bring my students because of that, because it's hard to bring my team. So, like it's interesting that he brought his team instead of bringing some other people that knew exactly what he was trying to do. To your point, you had said earlier that you had no expectation of what you thought was your expectation was completely wrong for the show. Did Joe give you any insight on what to expect on this show at all?
Nope, not at all. Or you said like about the show, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he was telling me how it was, and I couldn't visualize it not being there. So I'm
Okay,
like,
so he tried to explain it. Okay, I was going to
he
say
tried to
because
explain. He said
that
you're gonna
sounds
have the
like
best
something
time.
Joe would do.
Yep,
Right.
sorry. I thought you said something totally different.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
he talked about it when he went out there the first last year, not this past year, but the one before that. He says y'all gotta go, man. And I went, and like I said, I'll be going every year.
Yeah, he had taken my class in the November before that, and then him and I were talking over Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you come join my team?" Because I always invite my students to come help me and give them
Right.
extra practice, especially right after a class, because they need that extra time to learn more about it. And he was like, "Yeah, sure, sure," but he didn't know what to expect. But the thing is Joe's a very quiet guy. You know, I don't know what he's like as a boss. I know what he's like as a friend, and he's fairly quiet. It's not that he doesn't chat. We are chatting more now than we did the week we were there together, to be honest with you. And
That's
it was
awesome.
kind of weird for Chris and I because we kept looking at him like, so is he like with the team? He's just always standing over there with the camera. Is he? And he helped. It's not that he wasn't helping, but it was always like, what do I got to do to get this guy to talk? And I
Yeah, I
and
don't
I
know.
struggled with it the whole time. And then I would go, "Hey, you want to come out to dinner tonight?" Maybe. I'm not sure yet. And then I wouldn't hear from him the rest of the night. And I'd go the next day. What'd you do? I went back to my place. And I'm like, "Well, what'd you get to eat?" "Oh, I just went to McDonald's." "Dude, I would have paid for your dinner. Like we're
Right.
going out partying. Like I would have paid for it all. Like you're here to help me. Like come on, man." Never, not one night did he ever come out and hang out with us. Not once. I mean,
Yeah,
even in
honestly,
Gravacrete
bro.
was paying for the last night, and he still didn't come out and join us. Like we could not get that dude to come out and hang out with us at all. He just enjoys his
My
private
kind of
time.
guy.
See, honestly,
I
honestly,
didn't think
Joe's a
about that,
whole
Tony.
different person from that. Like, of course, I work with him every day. We laugh, talk, smoke, bro. We just talk and laugh all day long. It's honestly, Joe and Brian are like, out of my 7 years of doing concrete, one of the best. I've only worked for like three, four companies, and hands down, they're the best people I've ever worked for in my life. I can't even go to the store in Reading with a major shirt on without somebody stopping me. Who's like, "Oh, you work for Brian and Joe?" Hell yeah, I do. That's a pleasure to say.
You don't have to talk nice about him just because you're on the show and he's going to see this later.
Oh no, I would, buddy. I could go out downtown right now and still talk nice about them. They're just amazing
No,
people, bro.
they
They're
are. They're amazing people. And to that same point, let me ask you this question too: do you have to put up with his music all the time on the job sites?
honestly, we don't play music at all.
Man, because that dude loves the same exact music as me. Like we are, I didn't. It wasn't until we were doing the project together last year that I found out that he listens to the same music as me. He's the same age as me. It was like, this is all making more sense now. So
Right.
then I understood how to talk to him more, and again, we've been a lot closer ever since. But yeah, that's crazy because he listens to great music. Well, I rephrase that obscure music that most people couldn't stand that I happen to love also. So it's
That's
gotta love
awesome.
those kind of things.
Yeah, even when we're driving in the truck, we don't play no music. We just talk the whole time. That's one thing about us. That's all we do is talk. I don't stop talking. Sometimes I feel dumb even talking.
It's funny because you told me before this that you don't talk very much, so you didn't know if you had anything to say today. But you said you talk all the time. So
And I want to say I get nervous on camera. I don't like my voice, and sometimes I'll just stutter trying to speak something real fast. Because honestly, if I don't speak it real fast, I'll forget what I'm talking about.
Ronda Rousey has that problem.
Mm, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
just when she came out with she just came out with a book, and she said that if it takes a lot for her to focus on a statement. So like every time she was at the pre-show fight night things that they were like, supposed to talk shit back and forth to each other.
Press conference.
She barely, the press conference. She barely talked much, and she would talk a little bit, but she said, "You have no idea what it takes for me to focus and say something, because there's something that she has. I forget what she calls it, that you can easily lose track of what you're talking about, like immediately, and it takes a lot out of her to do that." Yeah.
Yep.
So interesting. I might have to look into that and tell you what she was talking about, or send you the link to that meeting, that interview, because I think it was on Joe Rogan. But anyway.
Nice.
So now let's get to the good stuff, Mr. Austin, since you have spent time with us now. I told you this wasn't going to be quick. So tell us everything about your experience with the wheelbarrow race. Let's start with the fact of, first of all, you didn't even know it was going on. It was the first year of it, so no one completely understood what was going on. We knew it was going to happen from social media ahead of time, but we didn't know any details. So you walk in there, no idea what the hell's going on in this building, no sense of anything. And why did you jump onto the wheelbarrow race?
Honestly, man, I was just came back from the bathroom. I'm walking. Zach Granger, or I think I said his last name right.
Yeah.
He's with the Whitfield boys.
Yeah,
and
tall dude.
He was like, "Come on, wait, race me." I said, I'm good." He said, "Come on, race me. I ain't got a partner." I said, And then I believe it was Jeff. He was like, "All you got to do is sign the waiver." I'm like, "All right, I'll sign the waiver." So I signed the waiver, and I ended up.
Wow.
Not only that, but you ended up number one on the chart for almost the entire day, wasn't it?
Yep, it was. I went 9 hours that day, and then I think it was Matthew Lauver. He beat my time, and then when he raced, he did the right lane, and when he went to go around in the gravel, his wheelbarrow tipped right over. So now I only raced that lane one time, and I ain't gonna lie, it's going instead of going this way, I almost lost it too.
So the only time that you did the right side was the finals.
Nope,
No, semifinals. Semifinals.
All right, so I did right lane. Yep, I did right lane. It was 31 seconds. 31.
Yeah,
25 seconds.
Because I know that one, because that's the video I posted. The guy that lost to you, you were neck and neck going around the cone, and then he fell into the water.
Right? Josh Rebello.
No, that was a different one. No, the semifinals was against
Ian DeWitt.
Yeah, Ian. I know where he's from, and so he raced you, and he fell into the water, or else I don't know how close that race was dead on at the water.
So honestly, I figured out I was in the championship finals. I was actually anxious because I was looking at Chris's times, and he smoked me, bro. He was smoking me all day. And I'm like, man, what I got to do to beat him? So the one lady, she was like, you get here 10 minutes before, you can pick what lane you want. So I got there like 15 minutes before, and I was already in the left lane. Like, I'm good. I got this lane. Then he walks up. It came down to where they said, you got 5 minutes to come over here or you forfeit or whatever. He walks up. He says, can we flip a coin for the left lane? She was like, nope. He was here first.
Wow.
That's interesting.
He was like, well, I don't know how that's fair. And so he kept it pushing to the right lane. I stacked my sandbags up, picked up 3. Then I watched him pick up 3, and I was like, yeah, he's going to struggle. In my mind, I knew his wheelbarrow was going to tip over. Something told me, it was like, I'm going to win this race. So when I put the 3 down, I tried picking up 4. I'm like, that's a little risky. I'm going to just do the 3. And when the light turned green, I picked up 3, and I heard everybody yelling. I didn't even look over there. I just kept it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, safe.
You knew what was happening.
Now, one thing I don't like in every race that I did is I think in next year, If you knock a cone over, you should be disqualified.
Well,
They should at least take some seconds off. Maybe not disqualified,
there's
but they should definitely take some
yes,
seconds off. Yeah,
and
I
we
thought
did
about that
talk
too.
about referees for the SmackDown, and Rick brought up a great point, having a referee for the wheelbarrow race, and that would be the purpose of that. If you knock over a cone, it's going to be X amount of seconds. If you don't go around that final cone, it's X amount of seconds that are added onto your time. It's only
Which
seems only fair.
no one that skipped the circle around the cone made it any farther. They automatically lost. They
Right.
never got a chance to go farther anyway.
Yeah, you
But that
got it. You had to
also
do that full circle. If not,
you
you was
had
not
to.
even, your name
Yeah.
wasn't even getting on the board.
No, not
Yeah.
at all. So what's interesting about all this too, Tony, is that throughout the day this is Thursday. I've never met this kid before in my life, and I'm trying to help Joseph the entire time, and I'm trying to advise these guys on what they can do, and they're probably looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm not making any sense to them, first of all. But second of all, it's like late in the day, and I look up, and I just happen to be walking by the wheelbarrow race in the screen, and I see his name in the top, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, "Are you like winning the wheelbarrow race right now?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude." And I'm like, "How?" He's like, "Oh, just such a random thing that I did not see coming as I'm slowly getting to know these guys and trying to figure out how I can help them without helping, of course, because I'm not allowed to do anything. And I'm
You
struggling
wanted
to
to
communicate with them
so
throughout the
bad.
entire time.
You wanted to help so bad. Like, let me just show these guys. Because honestly,
You're
once I physically seen you doing that with the brush, I bet I can get it down.
You're breaking up on us bad.
Can you hear me
I
now?
have no idea what you said.
So you wanted to help us so bad just to show us
Oh,
about the brush. So when I walked over
yes.
there and was watching you, I'm like, oh, I said longer strokes. And once it's done, don't touch it.
Yes. You puddle it and you leave it alone.
Leave
Puddle
it
it,
alone.
move it, leave it alone. Puddle it, move it, leave it alone. Puddle it, move it, leave it alone.
Yeah.
And you're frozen.
I'm frozen? No. Am I there?
Barely. You're just breaking up really bad. We'll give you a second, see if it corrects itself.
What about now?
Keep talking.
No. Keep talking. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Now,
It's better. It's getting better.
Okay. All right, I got Wi-Fi on now.
Okay, good. All right, so yes, you're correct. I was struggling to watch you guys use, which everybody that takes my class, and I've talked about this throughout the last couple shows, know that I that's one of the number one things I teach you how to do. I teach you how to draw, and I teach you how to use a brush. And if you can use those two things, there's no limit to what you can do. And I'm sure you've seen a little bit of that recently through some of the projects Joe's been putting together and stuff too. And yeah, it was so frustrating that I can't just grab a brush and show you guys what I'm trying to say, because it makes perfect sense once I show you. Explaining it is almost impossible, and it was driving me insane watching you guys. I felt so bad, and I should have just jumped in there. It's one thing that we were talking about after, and I talked about this with Joe, I think this week, is we should have gone to Decocrete and said, look, Joe really doesn't need the lifelines. Can I be the lifeline when he needs questions for, an hour a day and help him instead? And that would have been a big difference for him. Would it change anything for the outcome? Probably not. But at least you guys would have felt better about what you're doing and finishing it and getting to where you were trying to get to. And, it was just a struggle all around through all of that. And it is what it is, because it's not easy. The crazy techniques I show people, I make it look easy, but it's not easy at all. And you learn that the hard way.
Yes, sir.
So back to the race then. So you go home Thursday night, you're in you're into the tournament. You're in the next day. So do you go home that night and party your butt off, or did you stay focused on the task?
Honestly, we had smoked a pork butt that day. It was on for like 12 hours while we was, of course, at the expo. Come back, we ate. They all partied till like 2 or 3 in the morning off the tequila. I was in bed like by like 9:30. I'm like,
yes.
I ain't drinking tonight. I got a title to win tomorrow.
So the next day then you told me, because I asked you that morning, you had to race 5 times.
Wow.
Total with the championship, like winning it all, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy in one day because it's
And
exhausting, isn't it? It's not easy. It's 30
Oh,
seconds, but it's an insane 30 seconds, isn't it?
buddy, I've been building block walls for 3 weeks after the expo, and I'm telling you, my arms are jello. Jello. I'm still sore. I'm not even gonna lie.
that's
That's
that's an incredible feat.
it
Yes,
is
sir.
So
to do that
how
five
did
times in one day is insane.
yeah, so let me ask you this, because you were, as we've been talking here, you were not only in the wheelbarrow race, but you were a part of a SmackDown team competing in the SmackDown. So as a member of that team, I'm sure Joe was cool with it, but I don't know how many other team leaders would say, "All right, yeah, go do this wheelbarrow race 5 times while we're in the SmackDown competition." So what was that? Did you talk with Joe about that, or did he or was it just kind of like, "Hey, I'm in it, so I'm going to continue"? How did that conversation go?
Actually, I know
Hon-
the answer to this one. Joe's
Honestly,
the one that told him to do it.
Joe
Ah,
pushed me
cool.
through the race. So
Nice,
Yeah.
he was all for it, man. He was right there when I signed the waiver. He was actually right there when I raced too. He took a video.
nice.
Uh, Ever since I got diagnosed with blood pressure, I'm scared of heights, like being way high up. So when I was running across the bridge, he's like,
Ooh,
"Don't get scared now."
that's what that was about.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Well,
that's
that's good thing they didn't make the winner bring the wheelbarrow down themselves from where it was.
oh man, I would have got dizzy. Like the sad thing is, I don't even go to Kings Island anymore to ride roller coasters because it just
Mm.
I can't do it.
Oh, just wait till you get older. It's the same thing now at my age. I had no problems at your age, but yeah, at my age, I have to be a little careful. 100%. Although I love Kings Island, and that's a great area. I usually stay at a hotel in that area when I used to travel through to home. I would stop in Cincinnati for the night. I have friends there in our industry, and I would stop there and stay a lot. So I always stayed right there in Mason in that area by Kings Island.
Yeah, I'm about 15 minutes from Kings Island.
Nice.
I'm
Yeah, it's a good
literally
area of
right.
town.
I'm. You know where Reading is?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm 3 minutes. I'm 3 minutes from there. I'm right off 75, so I'm like 13 minutes from Kentucky. I'm from the bridge.
Well, yeah, because Cincinnati is almost half Kentucky and
Right
half.
there.
I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, literally.
I, as a Northeast Ohioan, always like to tell people that Kentucky can have Cincinnati because I consider that part of Kentucky more than part of Ohio.
Yeah, it's literally right there. It's crazy.
That's interesting that you're in Reading, Ohio, because my city here is Reading, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, ironic. Yep. I
That's
talked to
That
awesome.
Joseph about that once before too. Yeah. It's kind
that's
of
Hell
cool.
hilarious.
yeah. Like sometimes I don't even travel 5, 10 minutes for work. It's pretty convenient. It's pretty
That's
awesome.
nice. A lot of work right in that area. That's nice.
Oh yeah, we're in Reading for I think the next 6, or I shouldn't say that. About I think it's like 3 or 4 driveways.
So
Nice.
the dude that you beat in the semifinals is from Northwest Ohio, from where my in-laws are from, and I'm talking middle of nowhere. And they came last year for their first time, and I walked up to this whole group of guys, and I was like, "You wouldn't believe it, but I know your family." And they're all like, "Yeah, right, whatever." It's like a town of like 300 people. There's no way. And I'm like, and I started rambling off people, and you should have saw their faces. They're like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been there many a times. I've stayed in your town many a times. Like, all this kind of stuff." And so I was hanging out with them the night before. He was partying his butt off. In fact, I don't know if you saw some of my reels or any of my pictures from the show, but the video of the girl that took a shot and then basically spit it out on top of a guy's face. That's the dude you beat in the semifinals. So he was
that was on Thursday night.
hammered. That was
Yep.
Thursday night. He was hammered. I had
Nice.
bought I had bought drinks for him Wednesday night, And so Thursday night he demanded to get me back and kept trying to buy me drinks, and I like let him buy me like one or two maybe, and he just was going downhill fast. And then I turned around and saw that and filmed it right away, and was like, I can't believe this, but it
That's where
was
they
so
mess
funny
up.
because yeah, it is. He lost his focus and fell in the water because he was. I mean, if you saw the video of mine, you guys were exactly the same at the cones, at the
Yeah.
turn of the cones. It's an amazing point of the video because I happen to be right there,
Yeah.
and you're perfectly in sync, and then until it's not. But it's such a crazy race.
Oh yeah. They were
And
You
both
had
running.
honestly, I'll
go
tell you
ahead.
guys one thing. So honestly, like when you get in that loose gravel, it's kind of hard. So what I did was when I knew I couldn't like get it on the first try, I'd push off the back. They had like
The
Oh,
some they had
the
fence.
support.
plywood. Yep, the
Yeah.
fence support, the plywood. I'd push off that, and it'd get me to go.
We actually noticed that, and that's something I think even Tony brought up to me
Yes.
the next day, is that if you're not tall enough, the people that were taller had a better advantage because they could push off right away. If you weren't tall enough, you couldn't reach back there to do that, and you just kept sliding in the gravel because it was kind of dirt underneath it, and you would just start sliding all over the
It
place, and
was
people
like
got
dust
stuck all the time
underneath.
because of it. Yeah.
I did the one race on Thursday, and I was in the right lane. So now that you say that, and that was treacherous. That gravel was terrible.
So next year, of course, I'm gonna qualify next year. I think I'm gonna strictly do the right lane just to see what I got.
Well, it's going
Well,
to be a different
it's
course.
it's going to be a different course.
No matter what it is, I'm sure it's gonna be two lanes. I want right lane.
There is, yeah. It'll be definitely be two lanes. Yeah.
And one
That's
thing
all.
I
Oh,
think,
Oh,
what
I
happened?
think it should
I
be
don't
a
know.
belt too. You know,
Austin, you there?
There
Yep.
you are.
I
That was
think this
weird.
should be a belt for next year.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of like the necklace, man.
that's not so bad.
All
Should
right,
just
to that same point. Here's a good question for you. You get back, you're the champ, you bring all this stuff back, you've got I love the fact that you have your bracket hanging. I was going to ask you about that, but it's right there, which is awesome.
yes, sir.
Do you get back and is one of the first things you do is you go out to your favorite bar and you wear the necklace to show it off to everybody?
Nope. The first thing I did when I got back was unload the truck.
About time.
But no, I didn't. I didn't. This ain't left the house, man. It's actually been hanging up. I wore it the night we did the live for
Yeah,
For
con-
the group.
Decocrete,
concrete
yeah.
share your knowledge or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't go out wearing it, but I could. I still could, because I still the title champion.
Well, it's got to be an interesting conversation starter for people to be like, what is that? And then you're
Right.
like, well, let me tell you, I'm the
I'm the
champion,
first ever. First ever.
That's awesome.
It's
Uh,
honestly the best feeling in the world, honestly.
well, yeah, because the only other best feeling would have been if you guys actually won the SmackDown. Also, that would have been like the greatest of all time. But you guys
Yeah.
struggled so much. So let's talk about the SmackDown a little bit from your point of view, because you guys struggled a lot in the second half of it. The first half of it went great. Like you guys drew that down. Like it seemed like no problem to do the drawing and the cutting. Did it?
Nah, it went smooth. Honestly, we did more waiting on the concrete to turn white than anything. We got up there Tuesday morning. We didn't start. We drew it out, couple lines. We didn't start cutting until Thursday morning.
No, they asked you to do that. I had to do the same thing last year. I had
Oh,
it all
okay.
sketched out, but you got to wait till the audience is there to see it.
See, we didn't even know that. We was just waiting because it was still green as hell.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would have been fun to cut, but
Because the guys next to us, they cut the first day, like they was cutting on theirs. The baseball dudes,
yeah,
the baseball field,
yeah,
and oh, it was chipping and everything.
yeah. I bet. Well, they had to cut because they had to get to that vertical stuff that they had to do.
Right.
Is why.
So, but
Yeah, it's a
honestly, I
struggle
would
to
have
do all that.
waited.
So, did you enjoy the SmackDown too, or did you only? I mean, well, I mean, I know you enjoyed the whole experience, but what was the experience of the SmackDown like for you then?
Honestly, the best experience was just being around my team, man. Working with them. I work with them every day. It was just a blessed being up there with them out of our own city. Uh, Love cutting. Got to get the staining down, so I'm gonna work on that this year. And the brush. But other than that, the smackdown, I loved every bit of it. And next year, my brothers, we're gonna go up as Keller Creek, and we're gonna learn how to do some carving before the 2027 Expo.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Give it a shot.
Joseph and I are already talking about what I might do for next year and if he's going to join me or not.
Sounds good.
So,
Yeah, I would join you guys, but I told my brother
no,
I'll
you're
help you
good.
guys.
I already got my team. There's no room. Sorry, man.
All right. Well, in 2 years, I want to be on your team now.
So, did you like? What did you think about the design that he came up with and put together? I mean, I assume you like it, but I mean, what did you think about the whole idea?
Oh, the design it came out of a book. It was a church window in Germany,
Hmm.
and I thought it was so cool, man. So we went over to his garage when he first started talking about it. Sorry, I live next to tracks.
You're
Uh,
okay.
we draw it out, and I ain't gonna lie, it was too many lines for me. I'm like I gotta walk away. It was too many lines. Then we went up to Deco Cree up here in Cincinnati, and we're real good friends with them. They let us engrave into their floor. Well, then that's when all the lines started disappearing, and it started making sense to me. I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be pretty cool. The colors we choose there, they were pretty good, but it just I don't know. I just thought it didn't like go together. It wasn't consistent. You know what I mean?
That's because someone didn't trust the master.
You're probably 98% right about that.
What happened, Tony? I don't know if you know this, is that we talked about color. Like I was trying to help them with color theory, which of course is always entertaining when I'm colorblind, and always get a kick out of this. But I'm known for color. I talk about color all the time. It is what it is, and so I'm telling them values like you need to do this part light, this part dark,
All
and if you
another
do
one.
that, this area that's blue would go really well too. And Joseph was like, great. So he starts working on that light color, and I go away and I go back to my design, and I come back and I'm like, what happened? He goes, that was too light. I'm like, why was it too light? He goes, because I was putting it down and I couldn't see it. And I'm like, because you don't have the other colors there yet. You don't know. It's not. It has to be in relation to the other colors you're doing. And it was already too late. He had already gone too dark on the border, put a darker color on the main area. They didn't pop like they needed to. They were too close to each other. And it just was a struggle from that point on. It still looked great. I mean, don't get me wrong. It still looked amazing. I thought it was an amazing design, and I know how complicated that was to do from the drawing to the cutting to the staining. And you guys did an amazing job with, not knowing as much as someone like me would know and stuff like that too. But yeah,
That
if
was
you
my
would have, if
honestly
you
that was my first time cutting, and
really, yeah.
and that was my second time staining. So I got plenty of work to do. You know.
Well, and it was the same thing last year when Joseph was there. It was only his second time, to your same point too. He'd taken one class with me, and it was only the second time for him to do that too. Uh,
No, I know my brother mentioned something, Dylan, about taking your class. I might as well just take it with him and just so we can.
well, coincidentally, it's going to be in Cincinnati to make it funnier. And actually, to that same point, when you went to Decocrete, you were working in their warehouse practicing, right? What'd you think about all the crazy designs on the floor in there?
It's pretty awesome, man. Prior to that, I think it was the week before we went to their what is that, the epoxy class. It was pretty awesome in there. Got to see all the different designs on the floors. I like the big garage door when you pull in, not the lower one but the upper one. I like the first engraved one right there.
Yeah, would have had the
Pretty.
3D tile pattern and the medallion that
Yeah.
was floating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all. That was all. That was that
Yeah, I
was.
figured that was you, dog.
But my entire class hand painted that whole thing.
Yeah,
Back
that's.
to the same point.
I like how it was like not like a mat, but it was like a a glossy. I don't know how to say it. A
Yeah, I
satin
don't
or
know. I was going to say because of the abuse, it was high gloss when we did it, but with all the abuse to it, I'm sure it's not gloss anymore at all with all the dust on it and
honestly,
stuff
bro,
like
it
that.
still looks pretty good up there.
That's awesome.
It caught my eye when I walked in there. That was the first thing I looked at my first time in Deco.
Awesome, man. Any other questions, Tony?
I'm trying to think. I had one while we were talking here that wasn't covered yet. Oh, back to the wheelbarrow race real quick. What are your thoughts on they're talking next year of having a Thursday bracket and a Friday bracket? You got any thoughts on that since you're the reigning champion?
Honestly, I'll probably wait till the Friday. Just to
Well,
Oh,
the key to that is so here's the thing to that. You guys would perform all day Thursday to get into the bracket. And then the second half of the day would be the first bracket. If you win that first bracket, you're in the finals on
you're in the
Friday.
finals.
Okay.
oh, I'm in there. So what? Race last, basically.
So
Well,
then so then
you
if
would
you
want to wait
did
Thursday.
so then Friday morning there would be a run of people and then they would get into the Friday bracket and then it would be like you had to do on Friday where they would have to play race to get in, do the bracket, and then go to the finals. So if you did that on Friday, you would still have to do the entire race. Now, I don't know where that falls in for you. I don't know if you automatically are the champ and you are the finalist, or if you have to go through all of the races again. I
That's
don't
a
know
good
what they told
question.
you on that. But so to that same point, now that you know that, would you rather take Thursday or Friday? Do that Thursday thing and have the whole night to relax and get ready for the finals? Or was it better to do it all day Friday and stay warm and fresh the whole entire time?
Honestly, no, because 5 races Friday that put a toll on my body. I mean,
I bet.
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm not a little chicken shit. Like I'm not
but
gonna brag or nothing, but like,
but
yeah,
yeah,
that was
based on
five.
like the new
Five
rules,
races was pretty tough on my body.
since since you had the best time basically Thursday, you had the like record right off of your first race, I think.
Well, he ended up having the
Um,
second time on Thursday at the end of the night,
well, yeah,
by the end
somebody
of the
beat him
day.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but if let's say you won on Thursday, you're the champion of Thursday's bracket. You don't have to race it all Friday morning. You're in the championship at the end.
Oh
So
yeah,
whoever's the winner of Thursday versus the winner of Friday morning, then they go head to head for the championship.
yeah. I'm racing Thursday night then.
That's what I thought when I figured once we broke it down, it would make more sense. It's
Yeah,
but the other reason why we thought about that being a good idea and why we say we're not the ones that decide this stuff, but what we said to Jeff about it was because there were a few people that weren't there on Thursday that couldn't race on Friday at all because Friday was all about the tournament. So it
yep,
was giving those people some time Friday morning to be able to get into it also was the reasoning
yeah,
behind it all so that they had a second
yeah.
chance.
Okay, I
Which is
see.
interesting because you hear about I know quite a few people who come for Thursday and they don't actually come for Friday, just for the show in general. But there were a few people who didn't make it Thursday who came in on Friday and wanted to race, but because they weren't there Thursday to qualify, they couldn't race. So I guess that's why they're planning on changing it up a little bit. But you're the defending champion, so I'm assuming you're going to be in at some capacity. We don't know how, but at some capacity you'll be in there.
100%. And honestly, I think it was my second race where I raced 4 times because my second race dude never showed up, so I automatically moved on.
Uh,
And then
Oh,
I
that's lucky. Okay.
and then I raced Josh Rabella, won, and then I raced Chris or
And
raced
the
Ian and then Chris.
and the Josh Rabella one was the one when he jumped over the water to miss it from falling into it.
Yeah,
That
if you look closely, it's like he was about to try to take me out. I'm like, dang, I didn't even see that.
Well, it was cool the way that you stacked everything up and you were ready to go. And we noticed by the finals that the other guy did that too. Nobody else was doing that as much as I saw throughout the show. That you were the first one to figure those kind of things out, which of course happens when you do 4 of them in one day. Of course you're going to get better at it and better at it. But it was crazy to your point that you said earlier that you knew how to throw those three in so that you didn't tip it over. The other guy was trying to mimic you, but had never done it before. And of course, he just threw them like you saw. He didn't just drop them in; he threw them in because they were so
Yep.
heavy, and that's what made it just tip over. And it was over at that point. From that point on, it was already over because all you had to do was do your thing. And
Right.
the funny thing about that is, all you had to do was just do it. Like you had nothing to worry about because of that at that moment. But instead, you get the best time of all of them. Like so,
Yeah.
you have you have the easiest opportunity to win the whole thing, and instead of just taking the easy way out, you go ahead and you now break
Balls
the
to the wall.
record. I mean, is that not crazy or what?
That is beyond crazy, I should
I mean,
say.
that's a true champion right there. I'm not going to take the easy way out. I'm going to go for it all, and I'm going to break the record in the final champion. I mean, that is Olympic caliber performance right there from my point of view.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And actually, my brother Dylan, before the race, he says, pick up three and put your foot on the wheelbarrow so it don't
Yep.
tip over. I said, nah, bro, I got this.
Ooh. That was a good tactic though, because the fact that you did three, to Rick's point, you knew how to put them in. When you're filling a wheelbarrow with concrete, I've seen many guys have it happen to where they're shooting it to the side and not straight, and you'll tip that wheelbarrow over when you're trying to fill it with wet concrete. So
100%.
experience plays a factor for sure.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I would have failed miserably because
Yep.
I had no experience.
Honestly, I worked for a slave dude. He was an old man. I
Yep.
swear, he was an old man, and all he did was scream in your face, yell at you. He was old school, so everything had to been done. There was no Georgia buggies. There was no hammers. You was lifting one end up and using a sledge on a slab. Um, yeah, if it wasn't for him, honestly, I probably couldn't have won that wheelbarrow race.
That's cool.
Have you
I,
shared this with this guy, or is this guy you don't want to talk to anymore?
I don't really keep in touch with him. I was
I didn't
with
think
him.
so.
I was with him 4.5 years of my career, and it's a great guy. It's like my uncle. It's my step family. It's all this and that. But I probably could never work for him again.
Sure.
Honestly, I'll probably never leave Mages.
That's
That's
awesome, man.
those are
That's
great
the
guys.
best compliment Joseph could ask for because he's a great
Yep.
guy. He deserves everything he's planning to do. Like, I'll do anything to help that dude out. I love that guy. He's a great
Yes,
person.
sir.
That's
He's
the great
great.
thing about this industry is how many people are just incredible people. There's only a few people that are raging assholes and stuff that we just are like, okay, never mind. Just I'm going to stay away from that guy. But for this industry and how much we do things together, it's not as many as you would expect. So it's pretty awesome, actually. I love this industry for those reasons because I'm the oddball in the industry. Again, I've never poured concrete. I shouldn't be here. I'm just an artist that likes to do stuff on top of the concrete. So it's
Right.
funny how involved I am with all of this when I really don't fit in at all. But that's what's so great about this industry. No one is shunning me over it. They're inviting me in for more instead. So I love it.
100%.
Yes.
Well, awesome. Well, I think that's a great way to end it. I want to thank you very much for joining us. I know
Yes,
it
sir.
took a
Thank
little
you
bit to
for
do
having me.
this. I'm so happy that the phone worked because I really didn't think it was going to. But whatever it takes, man, we were ready to
Yes,
Get
go.
through
sir.
it.
I'm ready for
So,
the next one, guys.
absolutely. Until next year, when you're
Till
the
Yes,
next
reigning
sir.
year.
champ, defending your title. Can't wait for that one. But thank you very much for joining us. And everybody listening, you have a wonderful afternoon.
You too. Thank you, guys.